You know what I used to do, man? I used to have this crazy protocol where if I were to have some kind of relapse, or I say some kind of, if I were to relapse with pornography, which I don't do anymore, but if I did, I would have the most intense, brutal workout, followed by a cold shower, followed by me looking at myself in the mirror like, you motherfucker. and then I would do a few planks, actually, just to suffer, basically. Or, to be honest, that's not even that harsh. Sometimes I do that kind of exercise and those kind of exercises because I like to do them, because they're me facing truth. They're me facing myself. But it was the way that I was going about it. And it was the underlying attitude that I had of, you did something fucking bad. You're a bad fucking guy. Fuck you, man. Basically, I was brutalizing and I was clinging tightly to these rigid standards that I'd set for myself. And then it's just not a very conscious way to live. It's very black and white. Nowadays, though, my approach, it is so much more compassionate. It is so much more self-forgiving. And listen, I get it. I had to make my way through those kind of brutal times with that brutal self-discipline. And again, it was good for a period of time. But what will happen for you probably is you'll just sit with yourself basically, and you'll be like, yeah, no, I can't continue to live with this extremely critical mind, with this brutalizing, this rigid discipline. For a long time, I thought that being on it was being super disciplined, and it is. But what I didn't know, because I didn't have access to it, because I was just less developed basically, is that there are levels to this. And some of those levels include you really seeing yourself, being accepting of yourself, forgiving yourself, and loving yourself, even if you do stuff that isn't what you want to be doing. And some of those levels, when you're living into them, it's just a completely different reality that you inhabit, because you've got a radically different approach. It's so much more conscious. It's so much more understanding. It's so much more compassionate. Man, you just change the way that you are with yourself. And that's it. It's asking that question. How am I with myself? I can be like this with other people. I can be like this with this person. But at the end of the day, how are you with yourself? When no one's looking, how do you speak to yourself? When no one's watching, how are you when your mind wanders and you start thinking about some BS? How are you in those moments? How compassionate can you be? How understanding can you be? How conscious can you be? I'll say one more thing on this. I did not think that I would be interested in this stuff. For a long time, I just wasn't attracted to it. I just wasn't interested by it. But now I see that the way forward is to, move through some of this real compassionate stuff. Really, it's deeper emotional work, which is accompanied by some spiritual work. Because how I feel this, how I experience it, is it's on the level of you. It's on the level of your person or yourself, right? If we were doing, deeper spiritual work, we might look at transcending that self, seeing the illusory nature of that self. But I find also this emotional work that we're doing also massive. Because again, you want to be integrated. You want to be whole. You don't want to have blind spots. You don't want to have a big shadow. You want to put light on all of this stuff and just be able to walk out, open arms, just loving everyone, everything. And of course, loving you. So if you're interested in that, which I certainly am, if you are, keep following, keep doing this work, and, contemplate some of the stuff that we've asked. For example, that one key question, how am I with myself? When no one's watching, how am I with myself? we're going to wrap things up there. My friend, I love you. Take care. And as always, man, peace.